small word of warning. When you're replacing the studs for the inner wheel arch liner, there's one here from the four that hold this section on here. There's one here that when you grind it off, then you drill through. Don't know if you can see in there, but there is just not quite enough space to get one of these studs in. So you push it in like that, and it's about that much proud. So you can remove the interior. I think that's the, it's literally on the section where the seat, the rear seat is fixed. So you could remove all of that in order to get that through. But what I'm gonna try and do, and I hope it works, is push it in and then just try and get it to pull in on its own. So I hope it works. Okay, that was really lucky because although it was pushing on whatever it is behind it, the seat support or something, it actually just sort of pulled itself in. So I'm quite pleased with that because that saved me a huge amount of time. So that is done. Okay guys, so I've been up here since about 8 o'clock this morning, and essentially I have to take the tool back to Porsche today. They want it back by 12 o'clock. It's just got to 10 o'clock now, and I've just finished the last one. So I just did these three here, and from all the rest are okay. I did that one as well. I did loads of them actually under here and under there. I did that one over there. So from the 50 pieces I got from Bullhoff, I've used 48 of them. So I've got one left and one I used as a test. So I've replaced 48 studs on this car, and you can see under here, it's just mad how many I've done, or how many it has and how many it needed. So pretty pleased with that. Some I've left because they're all absolutely fine. Some were a little bit tricky, obviously, because you're drilling through two pieces of metal. This one, for example, here, which holds the brake line on under the wheel arch, that you can see I had to drill through two pieces of metal there. There's a couple of them that were pretty tricky. This one as well, I had to actually drill through the bulkhead, which is a bit of a shitter. But it's better to have a proper stud than not. So it was all fine in the end. And now I'm going to take the tool back to Porsche. I'm going to clean myself up a little bit first, and then I'll go. Okay, so I'm just going to take a break from doing work on the chassis of the car at the moment and do some angle grinding and cleaning up outside. So this is the strap which holds on the petrol tank. There are two additional straps that go with it as well. I'm just going to start on that, and this is also the retaining bracket for the ABS unit at the front left hand side of the car. So yeah, going to clean these up. So I'm just tidying up for the day now. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so I've been here for about 5 hours, I reckon. Possibly a bit longer, 5.5 hours maybe. But this side is prepped, and also under here is prepped. The back side of the trunk under here as well. It's a bit dark. This side as well. I've got to do this further, and under here as well I've got to carry on doing this side as well, but this side is also prepped. Sorry, I was just checking to see whether this ABS unit was leaking or not. Doesn't seem to be. Anyway, so this side's prepped as well, up into the strut top there as well, or strut top housing. And down here too, and all of my new studs are on. This is the only pipe. This is the clutch feed pipe, and I can't get that off. It's the only pipe underneath the car I can't get off. But anyway, yeah, so you've got the trunk to do, sides, bottom, and the front is absolutely fine. The bottom's pretty good as well. It's just a couple of scratches in the stone chip, but you can see the sort of stuff I'm dealing with here. I've cleaned it up quite a bit, but basically what I'm doing is using the wire wheel. I'm using the brass wire wheel to get into the nicks and crannies, and then I'm using wet and dry sanding, and that gives quite a good finish. And then, as I say, once it's all done and looking like this, I will get the professional painters in to come paint the entire underside of the car. But anyway, that's it for the day. I'm going to go home and enjoy the rest of the weekend. The weather, it's been raining outside, but now it's just got a little bit sunny, so I'm going to go home. Okay guys, so back up at the garage again this morning. I've just put a clear coat on a couple of parts out here. The camera's not adjusting, but that's the strap for the fuel tank, and that's the brake ABS unit holder, and that is the a little catch underneath. So I put some clear coat on that. So I'm just preparing here a top where I can clean the fuel tank, so I'm going to take that out and clean it. It's a bit premature, but yeah, I'm just looking around for jobs at the moment. It's Sunday, so I don't want to do any grinding work. It's going to be too loud, and I've done enough of that over the last 3 days. So yeah, I'm going to take this out and give it a clean. Okay, so I've just cleaned up the petrol tank. There's a bit more to go yet, but what I'm doing is I've just taken off the original seal here, which obviously means it's never been opened in its life, almost 20 years old. And I'm just going to go in and have a look inside, just to see if I can clean the filter and things like this. Okay, so back up at the Porsche today, and basically what I've been working on here is cleaning up the trunk, if you like, and all the parts up here as well. It actually looks worse than it is. Most of it's just cleaned off paint, but you can see in spots where it's starting to bubble. So you can't really see them, but then you start rubbing it down and then they all come up. Same on this side. So I've just rubbed that down. I went, what did I do? I did it with the angle grinder and then the wire brush attachments to the drill. And then I went, I think, 150 grit sandpaper, then 600, and clean, do it wet and dry, obviously, and then I've cleaned it all down with some brake clean. So there's some parts under here as well, which you can see, a bit there, where obviously the previous owner scraped the bottom, a bit over there as well, and around here the attachment areas where it's all starting to get a bit untidy. So tidying all that up, and then we'll, as soon as we're ready, we'll coat it with another layer of the original colour underneath. Okay, so I just took this carpet inlay out because I noticed there were a couple of points from underneath which were, you know, through the knocks that the previous owners have had on the bottom, you know, sleeping policemen or whatever, that I've sort of pushed those bumps out. There was also under here, on the underside you can see it better, that was all pushed in, so I guess maybe somebody put a jack underneath there, or I don't know what happened, but I've lightly knocked that out with the rubber mallet, and that's gone back into place. And I've also just hoovered around in here, so I'm going to put the carpet back in now and carry on. But it's looking pretty good in there. Okay, so I'm getting on pretty well. I've managed to tidy up everything in here, all in the, don't know what you'd call that, like the fuel tank well, if you like. So that's all looking pretty good. It's obviously looking patchy because it's obviously going to get a top coat and so on. So now what I'm doing is I've got to get to these jack points here, which are a bit corroded, but of course that's where the lift lifts the car. So what I'm doing is I've got the scaffolding pole. Oops, let me try and get the light right. So there's the scaffolding pole. It's very stable, so no need to worry. So I've just turned that. I've got a really nice big thick piece of wood there, and I've just lifted that up a little bit, and you can see here these arms are now pretty much loose. I think one more twist and then we'll be there. But yeah, this one you can see is loose. So I'm going to slide those out the way and see how that works.